This is a documentation of the artifact in research. The artifact is a multi-device interface for midline crossing, serious game development. This is cycle 1 of the development process. On a high level, these are the sections that we will be discussing in the video. Wireless device interface, understanding the midline, interactive serious game, and potential features. Section is to understand the midline. Crossing the midline refers to the ability of the body part to move spontaneously across the body to execute an action on the opposite side. A child who cannot cross the midline finds it difficult to move, for example, their hand from the leftmost side to the rightmost side, crossing the body's center point. A child also finds it difficult to read and write correctly, as moving their eyes from the left to the right causes a jitter. The research hopes to uncover the effects of using multiple wireless devices and a serious game to aid in crossing the midline. For wireless devices, if you look at the right hand side, we have a wireless device interface. These are applications you can download for your mobile device to connect to the game using Wi-Fi. For convenience, I've placed them on the screen to symbolize a separate mobile device. Traditional therapy methods for crossing the midline includes encouraging the user to move their hand from the left side to the right side, crossing the center of the body. Using wireless devices, you can easily move these devices to encourage the user to move their hand from one point to another, effectively crossing the midline. You are also not limited to horizontal movement, but can easily move the device to higher heights, which can have greater positive effects to rehabilitation. Next, we have the wireless device interface. This is the interface that is the focus point of the research study. The interface should have the ability to seamlessly connect multiple wireless devices to a single game via Wi-Fi. The interface conveniently gets your IP address on the device you are currently playing the game on, so there's no need to manually search for this IP address. You can also provide an alternative port if needed, but for now, let's keep everything to default. To connect these wireless mobile devices to the game, you simply start the server. Then simply type in the server IP and port values to each wireless device to connect each one. You can see on the interface as the device gets connected. If the wrong IP or port was provided, the interface provides feedback on the problem. It will also ping the provided IP and port to check if the server exists or is active. If the server is running correctly, you should have the ability to play the game. When we click play, we will see an interactive serious game set in a tranquil park with lush greenery. The game features wind and bird sounds to create a relaxing ambience, enhancing focus. The player can move from a leftmost side to the rightmost side of the screen and back, allowing their eyes to follow the sprite across the body's center point. The player also has an action button to drop the bone for the dog, earning 5 doggy points each time they successfully provide a snack. Doggy points serve as a game's currency to buy more dogs. The player's goal is to move above the dog and give it a bone to encourage it to go to bed before the game timer runs out. The game timer acts as a doggy point multiplier. If the player reaches the dog house before half of the maximum game time, currently 5 minutes, they earn an extra 50 doggy points. Finishing the level before the timer ends awards an additional 10 doggy points. The game timer motivates better performance to earn more points. If the timer runs out, the game doesn't end. Instead, a beautiful night sky appears, maintaining the peaceful environment. Potential features incorporated in the game is an AI and data analysis. The AI is a dog, which is responsible for determining the optimal distance based on player performance. Player performance is determined when the player successfully gives a dog a bone. The dog then captures player's current position and time taken to reach the dog's position. The AI is a neural network that learns from the player's previous movements. If the player moves slower than normal, the AI will decrease that distance. If the player moves easily through the game, the AI will increase the distance to move. Data analysis is used to provide the occupational therapist insight into player performance in the game. The data is represented as a line graph. The graph provides a clear representation of player performance in the current level.